Welcome to Two Girls, One Crime, the podcast where we peel back the layers of the darkest crimes ever committed, one terrifying tale at a time. I'm your host, Christy, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Kayla. I'm going to say that.
You're from Kentucky. All right, Alma Catherine Kellner was born in 1901 in Louisville, Kentucky, to Frederick and Florence Kellner.
So she's local?
Yes, very local. I guess she was born and raised, like her whole family is from around here.
Nice.
So she was the granddaughter of John F. Kellner, who was a big, wealthy brewer person.
Oh, okay.
They own like a brewing company. Along with her, it says uncle, but it's actually, I think, her cousin, Frank Fern. Fur.
Frank Fur.
Frank Fur. Yeah.
Like Frank Fur.
Fur.
Frank Fur.
Like Frankfurt. Frank Fur.
It's kind of a fun name to say.
Who was also a wealthy brewer in Louisville, Kentucky.
So they had money.
They did have a lot of money.
And what year was this again?
1901.
Oh, so
that's when she was born. This happened in 1909.
I mean, that's still...
So she was only 8 years old.
They got a lot of money, I'm sure.
Yeah. And she was, she had two siblings. She had a sister and a brother. I think her sister was older, maybe. And her brother was younger.
Okay.
So her grandparents also had a lot of money.
So it's old money. It's not new money.
No, like it's good money.
Yeah.
Her grandparents on her mother's side, it said they were inn owners at the time.
Oh, okay.
So they do have a lot of money on both sides. So just keep that in mind.
Gotcha.
Okay. So she was a third grade student at St. Mary's Academy.
Oh, that's so sad. That puts it into perspective. She's a third grader.
Yes. So she was little.
Oh,
she was only 8.
She's just a baby.
And if you look at her pictures, which I'll show you, but she was really cute. She had like...
That makes me sad. She's just
like
an
this
elementary
is
school girl.
So this is the picture of her the morning that she went missing. So her aunt and her mom went to mass at their church that they always go to.
So they're Catholic.
Yes, they are Catholic. So the church that they went to was just down the street from them. I don't even remember the name of it. Anyways.
Saint something Catholic church, I'm assuming.
Yeah, something. But it was like not even a mile from their house. So she stayed behind with her baby brother and was playing with her. Her mom and her aunt went to mass down at the church that they originally attended.
Okay.
So she stayed, and it was said that she stayed behind so that she could play with her little brother.
I mean, if I had the choice when I was 8 years old to either go to mass with my mom or stay and play with my little brother, I'm choosing my little brother.
Yeah. So I guess she stayed behind so she could play with him, and I guess she fed him and stuff. So I guess whenever they got back, her aunt had dressed her really cute. And if I find the picture, I'll show you. But she was all pretty and perfect. She had it looks like a little frilly dress, kind of. But it had like little spots on it.
Oh, she's adorable.
And she has, it looks like a bow in her hair. But I guess this was taken like that same morning that she went missing.
Oh my goodness.
I know, it's sad. But whenever her mom and her aunt come back home, I guess is whenever she decided to go attend mass at the other church, which was the same distance. It was less than a mile away.
Her mom or her?
Her.
Okay, so she went to the second mass.
Yes, whenever her mom and aunt
church.
come back, she decided to go to a different church, which was St. John's Church, Catholic church. So she walked there. They didn't think anything about it because she does it all the time.
Which is kind of weird to me, but I guess back then kids were more mature.
So I'm assuming, I don't know why she stayed behind with her brother while her mom and her aunt went. I'm assuming
I wonder if he was little and if he was too fussy or something to go to mass.
He was a toddler, I think is what they said. So he was little.
So they probably couldn't
So I guess
anything.
that's why they divided it.
Yeah.
Because I think her dad was working at the time.
But you
So
think
I'm
that
assuming that
so one of the adults would have walked with her.
But I guess this was in the early 1900s. Somebody thought about it. Like
Yeah.
she, I guess, walked to school every day because her school, St. Mary's Academy, was there with the church.
Oh, okay.
So it was there. She was very familiar with it. So one of the sisters at the Catholic church, the academy that she went to, said that she was a perfect child and the perfect daughter. She was very smart and talented, and one of the things that stood out about her was that during playtime, the sister had said that she, instead of playing with her other classmates or whatever, that she would go and pray at the altar.
Oh my goodness.
Like that was her thing. I guess she would go
So she was
pray
devout.
instead of, yes, she
At
was
8 years
very,
old, that's amazing.
yes. So she would go and pray instead of being with the other classmates. So she was just an all-around good kid.
I wonder if she had lived, she would probably been a nun.
Yeah, probably. But she, well, I don't know. She played with her baby brother. You would think she'd probably be a mommy.
Maybe. A very good mom, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, but she loved going to church.
That's awesome.
Like, even though her mom and her aunt left her, you know, and went, she still decided that she was going to go.
Yeah.
So when her aunt, I guess after she dressed her, they went, she decided to go down to the church, St. John's. And I guess on the way there, she had met some people that worked at the drugstore. So they know that, you know, she was clearly on her way. They'd seen her go there.
Yeah. So she went so much that everybody knew who she
Yeah.
was and knew where she was probably going.
Yeah. And then she passed a postman who had talked to her briefly. So they knew that she had made it to the church that morning. So she got there. She was thinking that Mass was at 10 and it was actually at 9.
Oh, so she missed it.
So she would have missed it. But they assumed that she was probably still there to pray.
Yeah.
So her mom told her before she left, right after Mass, you were clearly to come home.
Yeah.
Come straight home. You're not to go anywhere. So her mom was expecting her back to be around 11:30, whatever, if Mass was at 10. But because Mass was late, she didn't come home.
Yeah.
So whenever she didn't come home, her mom started to get worried that, you know, she's not come home yet. Like, it's not normal for her not to be here.
God,
She's
what
never
an
late.
awful feeling that must be.
Yeah. So she knew, she had a feeling something was up. So whenever at the time she called her husband who was working, and she was like, Alma's not come home yet. And at first, I guess he wasn't really thinking anything of it, but he still come home anyways. And after he came home, they called the police and was like, look, she's not come home yet.
And this is not normal for
No,
her.
it's not normal. And a lot of people were thinking, well, maybe she's just lost. But they knew that couldn't be true because she walks it every day.
Yeah, she knew where she was
There's
going.
no way she would have been lost.
Yeah.
So whenever they asked the priest of the church that she went to at St. John's, he said that if Alma did come, which he said he didn't see her that morning at all, but if she had come, that she would have been late because she would have missed Mass because she thought it was at 10.
Kill her, did he?
No,
Okay.
that's what I thought first.
That's where my mind is going. Yeah.
No,
I'm trying to solve this crime as we go.
but he said that he never seen her come through, and he said that even if she did come, that she would have been late because it wasn't at 10 like she
Right.
thought, it was at 9. So later on, somebody had mentioned that they did see her there. There was a few people that said that they seen her like knelt at the altar praying or whatever. But then it goes like months by. She's still not been found. They have all these search people out. They even had people searching the sewers and the drains, which all led to the Ohio River. And that happened in December 17th, 1909. So that was, like 10 days after she went missing, I think. So all that got searched. They couldn't find her. A lot of people had assumed that because her family come from money, that somebody might have kidnapped her.
Ransom.
And for ransom money. And there was 2 ransom notes that came in. One for $30,000 and then one, I don't know how much the other amount was, but it was confirmed that they were hoaxes.
Why is that? So you see a missing kid and your first instinct is, I'm going to swindle them for some money.
Yeah. I guess what they're thinking was maybe they could just get money out of them anyway.
How awful of a person are you for that?
I don't know. But, I mean...
Oh, you don't know where your daughter's at? Well, guess what? I need $30,000.
Well, her uncle, cousin, whoever he was, I'm still assuming that it was her cousin, was a spokesperson for the Kellner family. So with him being the wealthy owner of the brewery, he did offer a $5,000 reward for anybody that had information that would lead to something.
Which back then, that would have been a lot of money.
Yeah, whenever I looked it up, that was, hold on, let me find out, because that was in the early 1900s, and he was very rich. Like, they were millionaires.
Yeah.
And to be millionaires back then, like, you really had to have some money.
What do you find in the equivalence of how much $5,000 would have been in 1900s?
Yeah. Okay, so $5,000 in 1909 would have been worth $176,629 today.
Wow.
So that would have been almost $200,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's still a lot of money today. I don't care who says what. That's still a lot of money.
$5,000 gonna pay my monthly bills.
$5,000 would help some people out for sure.
So those were confirmed to be hoaxes with whatever these people were trying to say about the ransom. But it's weird to me that like nobody has seen her. Like after
every story we cover, is everybody blind?
I guess so. But there was somebody that did come up, and in the book that I read, which was actually really good, it covered a lot of stuff. It was Louisville's Mystery of Alma Kellner, and it was written by Sean M. Heron.
I'm gonna have to borrow that.
Yeah, so it was really good. He had a whole lot of good information in it, and like he got it from all the newspapers and the transcripts and stuff. So like these are a lot of factual things in here. But I guess whenever she went missing and didn't come home, like they had questioned all the kids, that like all her classmates, they had said that they hadn't seen her since the Tuesday before she went missing. I guess was the last time they had school. I don't know.
And it doesn't seem like she has a reason to run away.
No, she doesn't. I mean, parents are millionaires. I mean, I wouldn't run away.
Well,
and everybody says she was a good kid.
Yeah,
like she was a star kid.
So automatically you know something bad is
Yes. But then you think, I guess that's what I would think too. Like somebody done took my kid because they want money.
Yeah.
And at that point, I would be like, I would go live in a box if you just give me my kid back.
Absolutely.
Like, just give me my kid.
Yeah.
But nobody was saying anything. They even called the hospitals, all the stores around. Like, nobody had seen her. Like, they were thinking maybe that she got hurt on her way home and somebody picked her up, maybe took her to the doctor, hospital, whatever. But nobody had seen anything.
That would be the best case scenario.
Yeah. And there was, like, some people saying that they'd seen her walking around, which I don't think would have been true. But, I mean, if they just say that it fits her description, then it could have just been another kid.
Yeah.
But they were trying to say that, like, there was other kids being taken and put in wagons and stuff. So, like, that was, I guess, went along with the whole kidnapping thing.
Right. Okay.
But they didn't, like, I guess they didn't see her up close. They just said it fit her description. So it could have been like, any kid.
Yeah. That could have been anybody just out playing.
Yeah. So there was somebody that come and mentioned later that while she was there at Mass, she did see Alma kneeled at the altar praying, and she also had seen some guy that was being kind of suspicious that kept looking, and I guess he'd come out from the cellar and kept looking at her and would like go to the altar where she was and like look around like he was trying to like see about fixing something. And then I guess that was the last time that they had seen her.
Okay, think about it this way. You see a little girl praying, so sweet, by the way, and you see a weird, creepy guy. So you just leave her?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you this little story. Rick and I went on a little vacation over the weekend, and I walked by this hotel room, and I heard this baby crying and saying no. And it took everything I had not to break in there to make sure it was okay. And Rick's like, Christy, I'm sure it's fine. If I see some creepy guy looking at a kid, I'm not going to leave.
Yeah, that's weird.
You're just, he's weird, and he's staring at her,
but
really I got to go home.
But, like, back in that time, like, it's not like it is now, where it's so common.
I guess.
Like, back then, they probably didn't really think of it in that way. Like, oh, my God, he's a predator.
Well, that's where my mind goes first.
Well, yeah, because we're
programmed that way now.
In a time where, like, that's... Unfortunately, it's normal that these kids, like these chomos and all this around here, But like back then, it was the early 1900s, so I don't think it was very common
I
back
guess
then.
not. And you didn't talk
So
about
she
stuff
probably
like that.
didn't really think anything about it, or maybe she just thought, well, maybe I'm just overreacting.
I'll try to switch to my 1900 brain instead of 2025.
Well, I mean, like, she probably...
I'm not blaming her or anything,
No.
but as a woman, I'd be like,
But
what are
after
you
she
doing?
heard, after she heard that, like...
She probably didn't think anything about it. When she heard it, it was like,
But
oh, man, I remember that
I also
now.
read that it took her months to come forward. But I really don't think that
Maybe it didn't click for her.
And that's what it said in the book. Like, she wasn't... I guess she got convinced that, like, maybe I should go say something about it.
Well,
I guess she
yeah.
didn't really
I mean,
think
I'm glad
anything
she
about
did,
it.
But
anyways, so whenever she didn't come, they searched everywhere. Like, they went high and low to find this little girl.
yeah.
And then I guess it happened to come up a flood
Oh, gosh.
or something. It caused the basement of the church to flood, or this.
Oh,
So the
no.
church had, it was like a schoolhouse next to it, and I guess in that area is where it flooded, like a bunch of water, whatever.
Yeah.
So they hired somebody, and his name was Richard Baxter Sweet.
Okay.
He worked for a plumbing company, so they hired this guy to come and pump the water out of the basement of this place. Yeah.
And Rich found her, I bet.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So whenever he started, the water got so low to where he could just, he started to shovel, and when he did, he came across a foot.
Okay, so just to backtrack. So this has been how long since she went missing? Did you say 10 months?
No, it's been, I think they discovered her in May.
And she went missing in December.
Yeah. I think it said May the 30th was whenever she was discovered.
So it's been a while.
Yes.
So she's probably not going to be in the best shape.
No. But it is weird because whenever I was reading in the book, it said that from the autopsy, the coroner said like there was no decomposition at all.
What?
Which is weird to me.
That's odd. So,
Yeah, but come to find out, like, after he found the foot, I guess whenever he was shoveling, he also hit something, and it was a carpet. And whenever he unrolled it, it was a kid skeleton.
oh my goodness.
So, like, the decomposition thing doesn't really make sense to me, because if it's in there and in water, all that, like, you would think that.
Yeah, that would accelerate it. But it was winter months there for a while.
But whenever they got to looking at it, she had been burned.
Oh.
So he was trying to, I guess, burn her. But I don't know. This story confuses me too, because
This poor
it doesn't.
rich guy has found this little dead girl.
Yeah.
But she wasn't cut up or anything. She was just, her foot was
No.
just off. So,
Well, I guess it was cut off because it was still in the shoe. Okay, so she was found May the 30th, 1910. So that would have been, what, 5 months after she went missing? 6
Yeah.
months? Almost 6 months after she went missing. So whenever I was reading in the book, he said that the guy that they suspected of killing her, his name was Joseph Windling, and he was the janitor.
the same guy that was staring at her.
Yes.
Uh,
He was the janitor
Fruitcake.
of the church. So, whenever the coroner and all them, they could tell that, like, whenever he was examining her body, that there had been an attempt to dismember her.
ugh.
And he tried to burn her. And during the autopsy, they found that her head was split open, her right arm was missing at the elbow, her left shoulder blade and arm had been sliced off, and most of her bones were broken and charred.
Oh my goodness. This is giving me Fanny vibes again.
Yes, it's very similar. But it doesn't make sense to me, like, even with reading all this, there's not a whole lot of details, like, how or where it happened.
Yeah.
But whenever he was actually the one that this Joseph Windling, the guy that killed her, was suspected of killing her, took the police on I guess, quote-unquote, tour around the church whenever they were searching for her. but he didn't take them down to the cellar.
Well, of course not, because he's got a dead kid down there.
But what's weird about it is that the priest didn't even know that the cellar was down there. Like, he knew that there was a cellar down there, but he didn't know that there was a whole nother section which he had dug a hole in. So it had to been premeditated, because he had worked on a hole had already been built, like dug. When you dig a hole.
I got you.
Before all this happened, and then he just shoves her down there.
So he probably wanted a kid, and he knew what he was going to do, and he knew he wasn't going to get caught down there because nobody knows it's there. So that's probably why he could take his time. He tried to dismember her. It didn't work, so he thought, well, I might as well burn her. I got to get rid of it.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that she was targeted, because he probably noticed that, she comes here regular, and she comes by herself.
It's just sad.
Yeah.
If only someone had been with her, she would have made it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
So whenever it was said that the priest at one point had smelt something burning in the church and had asked about it, because, he was a janitor, and asked him what was going on, and he said, oh, well, I'm just burning some old rags. But come to find out, it was actually him smelling her burning. And I'm assuming that's why she didn't get burned all the way, because it probably scared him.
He went,
I'm guessing. So he probably went and stopped it, and I guess that's when he decided to maybe just take all her body parts and roll it up in the rug. And I don't think it ever even mentioned where he got that rug from.
It's probably just laying around somewhere.
Yeah. So whenever they identified her by the dental records, that's how I guess the only way that they could tell. So
she had to be decomposed.
She had to be. Or, I mean,
just
even if he didn't, even if he didn't burn her all the way, like, you would think that, like, you wouldn't be able to recognize her. There wouldn't be any skin. I'm assuming that's why
probably
they would say that she wasn't decomposed.
He just burned her up. Ugh. Poor baby.
Yeah. So, whenever they went and were questioning people, his wife was one of them, and she was a lot older than him.
Mm-hmm.
She was in her 40s, and he was only 27.
Wow.
Joseph Windling.
Cougar.
Yeah. So,
Mama got her a young man.
He, I guess, had just left. He had vanished on January the 14th.
I mean, you got to get out of town.
Yeah,
they hadn't found
but
her.
Like, his wife and the priest, like, nobody thought anything about it, because I guess this is normal for him to just up and run. Yeah, like, not unusual. Like, my husband's gone. I don't know where he went. He packed his bags and left. But
that's weird. If my husband leaves and he's not back in a couple days, you best believe I'm gonna be tracking him down.
Yeah, but I guess he does it a lot, and maybe because she's older, she doesn't really care.
I mean, I guess as long as he comes around every now and then.
I mean, because she had her own job. She was a housewife or a housemaid for the priest.
She ain't got time for no running no babies around.
She didn't really care, I guess. But whenever they were questioning her about him, she said that she didn't even have a picture of him. So how do you not have a picture of your husband?
Well, it's 1900s. Pictures weren't really
Well, she did have a picture of him, though, because he was a French armyman.
Ah.
And
he was not a seaman. He was
not
an
a seaman. He was an armyman.
Okay. Distinguish that.
So they had a picture, and I'll show you a picture of him. So they found the picture, and like, they were kind of like, why does she lie about not having a picture when it's right here?
I wonder if she knew more than she's letting on.
I think she did, because she backed him up the whole entire time.
Stand by your man, I guess.
Okay, so here's the picture of the little guy that found her. He looked like a sweet little man.
Oh, okay.
And I guess whenever they had found her, like, where it was down in the cellar, they said that they had brought her body, like the pieces that they found, like, up in a little basket.
Oh, gosh.
And here's a picture of them carrying the basket out.
Oh, my gosh, it's little.
Yeah.
That's disturbing.
And they said just the remains. And I was going to tell you, this is the diagram of the layout under the church where all of that was found. And then, like, there was somewhere around in here they had found some bloody rags and a bloodstained shirt where I guess he had shoved in there to try
Yeah.
to hide it. But whenever they were questioning his wife, she didn't even, I guess, seem to care. She's just like, well, he's gone again. I'm sure he's fine. He ain't done nothing.
No count, yellow-bellied man of mine.
Well, she just didn't think anything about it. And I guess they hadn't seen him for months. And they automatically, it's like after they found out that he had all his blood stuff and he vanished, they're like, okay, this guy has to be the one that done
He
it.
absolutely did it.
But I don't know why. I guess. And my thinking is, if he does that all the time, like he vanishes and just up and like he had to be.
He's got a secret life.
He's got to do that a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel like Alma wasn't the only victim he probably had.
Probably not.
Because
So did they ever find him?
they did find him.
Okay, good.
So they went on a big search, like it was like nationwide. Like they I guess they thought that maybe he went back home to France where he was from or whatever. But come to find out, he was in California living a whole nother life. And he was engaged to some woman.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Another older lady.
But he also has a history of being a creep. Because he went on trial a few months before Alma's disappearance for being inappropriate with another child.
So he was a petty.
Yeah, he definitely was. And he was also fired from one of his jobs that he had working somewhere. It was like an inn as a peeping Tom. So he got fired. He
So
was
he's
trying
got
to
rapey
watch women.
vibes.
Yeah, he was trying to watch women. That's why I'm wondering, like, if he just ups and leaves all the time and his wife thinks nothing of it, like, he has to probably...
He's out raping, probably.
He's probably murdered more people than just this
Yeah.
little girl.
I mean, that's pretty hardcore for your first murder. Normally you ease into it.
Well, and it was clearly premeditated because he's already...
I mean, yeah, he dug a place
dug a
out. He knew
hole
what he was doing.
And he probably knew that the priest didn't know about that down there, so he didn't think anything.
But where
And if
she's
there
got
wasn't-
money, more people were interested.
And if there wasn't a flood, if the basement or whatever didn't flood, then they probably would have never even found her.
Probably not.
Because that was just luck on their part that they found her.
That's God saying, here you go. Wow. What a story.
But yeah, whenever he got brought back, like whenever he went to trial, they knew automatically like he had to have been the one to do it.
Yeah.
So he got charged with it.
Did he ever confess?
No, I don't think he did. And people in France, like, till he died, backed him up, along with his wife.
Wow. Did
Yeah.
they hang him?
He got off. He only served so many years, and then he was able to. He was a model prisoner, and he got to leave. Yeah.
Wow. So did he come back to Louisville, or did he go to France?
He was actually stationed in Eddyville. That's where he was in prison at. It was Eddyville. It's like around Louisville area. And then after he finished his sentence, he got sent back to France.
Good.
After he lived his life for a little bit in New York. He was able to do that.
I don't understand how these people kill people and get out. Like Gertrude.
Yeah.
I killed somebody, but I'm out in a couple years.
I don't know. Because I think some of them wanted him to be executed, and some of the jurors didn't. So I guess they just agreed.
Like a hung jury kind of thing.
Yeah, and then I think her cousin, Frank, was actually the one that said, you know, if he's going to be out, you need to send him to...
Yeah, get him out of
At
here.
least send him to France, because
But
we
then
don't
did
want
he
him
go to
here.
France and start killing little kids over there?
I don't know, but-
Probably.
Well, whenever he ran away, whenever he was on the run, because he knew he'd done it, and they were on his back about it, because he wasn't going to stay gone for long.
Yeah.
I guess he changed his name and everything, like Gertrude,
Imagine that.
and had a whole nother life and all that. So,
Wow.
and his wife still backed him up the whole time.
Well, she's dumb.
Yeah, I mean, he's engaged to a whole nother woman, cheated on him, like he's a womanizer, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's not a good person at all.
No, and
And he's a murderer, so.
and of a baby.
Yes. A
A
little
little
bitty
8-year-old. Yeah, so And when I read, I guess her mom, Alma's mom, was so upset. Like, I don't even think that she attended the funeral because
Oh my
she was
goodness.
so heartbroken over her.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to live again.
Yeah.
I would
Like,
just be done.
they were, from what I read, like, her mom was not the same after all that.
Oh, I bet.
So,
How could you be?
no, I couldn't.
Mm-mm.
Especially seeing all the little body parts. And...
Yeah, you might as well just go ahead and put me in there with her because we're done.
But I want to know, like, how he got a hold of her without nobody knowing.
She's
Because you
probably-
would think a lot of people would be there.
She's probably a sweet, good-hearted little girl. He probably
I wonder
asked
if
her for
he-
something.
If he convinced her in some way to go with him and do something.
Maybe.
But it did say there was no, like they don't assume that she was raped or anything, which is good.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anything like that, even though he gives Chomo vibe.
Well, maybe he was going to and she started screaming or something.
But I'm glad that which I mean, nothing good about this, but at least he didn't
Yeah.
take her innocence. But
Ugh.
it's a pretty sad story.
It's a very sad story.
And it's close to home. And I guess even to this day, it's still a big thing for Louisville people to remember her. And,
Really?
yeah,
She's buried in Louisville?
she is buried in.
Well, we're going to have to go.
I think it's like St. Louis Cemetery. And all the buildings in which she lived in, which is why I really like the book that I read. Because he has it very detailed down to each road that she went to
Oh,
to
wow.
get there. Yeah, it was very interesting. So I was able to map it all, where we could like literally take her walk
Well, we're
that
gonna have
she
to do
went
that one day.
to get to church every day.
Even if it's just to remember her, we need to do that. We can
Yeah.
visit her grave.
We definitely should.
That's a sad story.
It is
It's a
very
good
sad
story, but sad.
I just don't get like I still have a lot of questions about this one too, like, especially like how he got off very easy.
Right.
I think.
Just want to know what the motive was.
I don't know. Because he was 27 whenever it happened, whenever he decided to kill her. And I think he was like in his 60s whenever he got out of prison.
Wow.
So he still has plenty of time to live
Mm-hmm.
and enjoy himself.
Which is sad because she didn't get that chance.
But then when he went back over to France, they all assumed that, like, he was innocent. He would have never done that.
Bull poop.
Yeah. But I don't know how you could back somebody up like that.
Because people are insane. That's the problem with the world.
And his wife was, like, trying to sell his pictures and stuff. And I guess
She was.
the city or
She's
somebody,
making
like,
money
shut
moves.
them down. She's like, he might be a murderer, but I'm going to get some money
I mean,
regardless.
he took off and left me a lot, so I might as well get something out of him.
I guess. I wonder if she had anything to do with it, though.
You think she'd know something.
Yeah.
He come home covered in blood again. This little girl's missing. Put two and two together,
I
lady.
mean, you would think, like, okay, this girl went missing and he's gone again.
Yeah, it's weird.
I bet that was a pattern for him.
Probably. Each time he killed somebody, maybe he took off.
Yeah, because she said it happens all the time.
Hmm.
That makes sense.
Absolutely it would. He's killed another one, so
I just don't think anything about it.
I guess it's just like whatever.
It's like the picture, and I don't have. Oh yeah, I got that one in there that y'all just found. I forgot about that one.
It's so weird.
But you got enough to say.
Right.
I don't know. The whole story on that is weird. But I do want to go sometime and visit her grave and
Okay.
stuff.
Let's do it. Maybe we can sell some of his pictures on the way to pay for our gas.
I'll sell some of her. She was cute.
She was very cute.
Very little.
girl. Nobody deserves any of that happened.
No. And it's sad to think that her mom was so just tore up about it. Like, she couldn't even. But I guess she had another baby. Like, they had a baby
Really?
like a year after she had died. So maybe that was more of like a comfort thing for her.
Could be. Kept her busy, maybe.
Maybe. But
That's
she also had a smaller sibling that died at infancy. So her mom was probably just already.
I'd be a basket case.
And then her sister died when she was 17 of heart disease. So
Oh,
her mom
gosh.
was just.
That poor woman.
I know. I couldn't imagine losing all my kids.
No.
I guess her little brother that she played with that morning was the only one that actually lived like to a normal age.
Sad. So all the girls passed. That makes me sad.
Kind of like Pearl Bryan's mom.
Don't get me started on that now. I'm trying to forget that story. Well, are you about to ready to fold this story up and be done with it? Well, I mean, it's a very sad story. I hate that it happens. It's very close to home, which makes it
It is very
a
close
little
to
bit
home.
more. Yeah,
Personal to us, I feel like, because it's in our home state.
yeah, for sure.
It's just, what, 2 hours away?
Yeah. So I hope everybody liked the story. Keep her in your mind. And if anybody wants to go on a walk with us, we can walk around Louisville and retrace her steps. Just let us know. Thanks, guys.